Hey guys, so we have the data download for the big Legends Festival week here. This is the Ultra Blue Gogeta Part 3, or I guess they're technically calling it Part 2 of Legends Festival 2022. This is what we've been waiting for. Finally, some hype! Let's go. So it looks like the free-to-play Broly, for whatever reason, is not in this data download. So maybe he'll actually be releasing next week. But we also did have a curveball thrown at us. We actually are getting a ZENKAI for the free-to-play Red Vegito, which, if you guys played back during the first anniversary, you guys remember how absurd that character was. Came out alongside the LF Super Vegito. Them two together was just, that was just like an absurd combo. So we're going to start by going over Gogeta. Now, I already made a separate video going over his entire kit already, so I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about his kit. If you want to see my full in-depth breakdown of this character, I definitely recommend checking that video out here. But this guy, I mean, look at his art. It's just, like, they nailed it. They nailed it with this character. Let's go ahead and display maximum stats. Remember, this is going to be without title boost active here. All right, so we're looking at like 271 strike attack. So this is definitely a character that is way heavily oriented towards strike attack. His blast is really a ton lower than a strike, which is fine. I mean, it's a character that wants to be ran on a strike-based team, which every unit in the game is pretty much strike-based right now. But he'll be over 270,000 strike attack. That's crazy. And then defensively too, I mean, he's going to be at like, what, 175,000 strike defense, 170,000 blast defense. Yeah, that more than good enough stats. Stats are looking really nice. He's on movies, he's on Saiyans, he's on Godki, he's on Fusion Warrior. 4 really good teams. Well, they're not all really good, but 4 like legitimately viable teams. Fusion Warrior, I would argue, really did need this help a lot. So actually kind of nice that they're getting help here. Godki, I would argue, also really needed the help a lot. So it's nice that they're getting help as well. His arts cards both decrease the cost of his special move card by 3 when you activate them. Blue card is massive impact damage, 20 key, 30% special move damage inflicted with blast armor. Now, the main reason why I don't think they made this like ultra omega cracked is because his unique gauge can be comboed. His unique gauge knockback effect can be comboed with this blue card, and it actually gives you a blue card the first time that you use the counter. So I think that's the reason why they didn't make this too insane, but it's still going to be doing a lot of damage. Like, it giving you key back on activation is actually pretty good, because that means that when you use the card, you'll be ready to counterattack if the enemy goes something right away, as opposed to having no key left over. The green card is a stop time effect. Look at this. It's so long. The green card is a stop time effect. Green card draws you a blue card twice, 50 key, 20% damage inflicted, nullify cover for 10 counts, and then depending on how many counts have elapsed, he gets type neutrality, and then he also gets 70% vanish gauge restoration if it's after 60 counts of elapsed. That's insane. The blue card, or the ultimate, is God Punisher, supreme damage, 40% ultimate damage. He also gets an additional 20% ultimate damage if 60 counts have elapsed. So this is going to get even stronger. Now, the thing to note about this is it actually cancels enemies' attribute upgrades and buff effects on activation. Very powerful. Main ability, he draws the ultimate, he gets 30% HP, 40 keyback, minus 20% enemy sustained damage cut effects for 15 counts, cancels own attribute downgrades with normal conditions, he reduces enemy key by 50, and he destroys all of your enemy's cards. Just a lot, he's doing a lot. Don't forget, he's also getting an additional 30% damage inflicted and 30% key recovery through his ultimate, or through his ultra ability. So, as we can see, when we move down to the unique ability here, he actually picks up 50% key recovery here and here from every 30 timer counts that elapse. So if you want to combine those with the ultra ability, he's getting an extra 130% to key recovery on a character that can have double card draw speed. And then the other thing I want to mention is this. This is insanely broken. Applies the following effects to self when this character activates Rising Rush. Restores Vanishing Gauge by 100%. Nullifies enemies restore health when it reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 timer counts. So if this character is rushing, you don't have to worry about endurance. So Beast Gohan cannot live this guy's rush. Future Gohan cannot live this guy's rush. Blue Zamasu cannot live this guy's rush. That is one of the things that makes characters like the androids and LF Rose so deadly. And this guy just does that for free, right? There's not really that many instances where this character's like, when you have a character that is able to like at all times nullify endurance, like Rose and the androids, it's mostly for Rising Rush. there are not that many instances where you're actually just comboing somebody normally with like strikes and blast cards, where you're going to be nullifying their endurance with that, right? It's mostly for the Rising Rush. So this is really strong. Also, he doesn't get ki on entry, but he restores ki by 50 when he lands a strike or blast arts hit every time he switches in, once only. So that's going to completely nullify the Blue Zamasu ki reduction ability, which has been one of the most annoying things that we've seen recently, so that's good. He has a universal cover change, same exact cover change mechanic as Beast Gohan, so he can strike or blast, and you can combo that with the blue card, activates twice. And then his unique gauge definitely is a brand new thing, which sounds insanely busted. He can actually cover change against his own combo. Like, so if he's getting comboed from an enemy, he can cover change his own, like, himself, right? So if the enemy's attacking him, he can cover change against his own combo, which is just ridiculous. And then the first time you nullify the enemy's combo with this effect, you actually draw a blue card and you get 50 keys, so you can instantly counterattack. And then you get all these additional effects when the gauge fills up, kind of like Ultra Broly. He gets cover null, he gets unfavorable element factor nullification, he heals by 30%, reducing Dragon Balls, he shortens allies sub count, destroying all of your enemies' strike cards as well. And then on top of that, he also nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 5 counts, and he gives the enemy minus 100% to Ki recovery when the enemy uses a special move, Awakened, or Ultimate Arts card. So if there's a really strong yellow character that activates a blue card or an ultimate, this guy's going to be taking type neutral damage from those effects. Really strong. This character seems insane to me. I think he probably will almost undoubtedly be the #1 best character in the game, but we will see once we use him. Let's check out the free-to-play Red Vegito Zenkai. I have not looked at all at this. Let's see. So he's over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and press this. Okay, so obviously he's a free-to-play defense type. So defenses actually are pretty decent, 185, 186. I'm not going to go too crazy about the offenses because those are not good, but this guy was never designed to be an offensive character. Now, this is a character that has a traditional lock-in on his main ability. What that means is he's going to inflict no switching for 10 counts on his main ability. Let's just take a look at it now. This is like the main part that makes this character really, really annoying to fight. So 25, I'm actually, let me pull up the old Vegito kit so that I can tell you guys what changed. A lot of things will change because this is an old character. This is a first anniversary character. So I definitely expect some massive changes with this guy's kit here. All right, so where is he? There he is. Okay. So main ability, 20% HP, 50 ki. So you actually didn't even used to get ki at all on this. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. That is also new. And then, of course, the no switching for 10 counts. That's the main appeal of this character. On top of the fact that his Z ability is really strong. 40% to Fusion Warrior defenses, both strike and blast defense. And then he's giving Vegito characters an extra 20% strike attack during battle, which, of course, applies to the leader slot character, even if you're not Vegito. So that's good. I'm assuming he's buffing Red Fusion Warriors. Yeah, Red Fusion Warrior. Unfortunately, right now, we don't really have a good Red Fusion Warrior. So when they decide to give us a good Red Fusion Warrior, this guy will become a lot more relevant. But they did only give him a half Zenkai buff here, which makes sense because he's a free-to-play character, and that's typically how they handle that. All right, first unique ability. Now the battle really begins. The following effects occur when battle starts. -5 to own strike and blast arts cost cannot be canceled. That actually used to be cancelable. Now it's not. And restores 20% of damage received after enemy attack is over, cannot be canceled. So that also cannot be canceled, which didn't used to have. Second unique ability, applies the following effects to self once 20 timer counts have elapsed from battle start. So that actually goes from 30 counts down to 20, which is of course a lot better. 30% damage inflicted, cannot be canceled. Card draw speed by 1 level, and then 35% to Ki recovery. So the way that they buffed this was they decreased the amount of counts from 30 to 20, and they made all these buffs uncancelable. So that's good. All right, next, these are the new unique abilities here. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. 40% damage inflicted, 20% reduced damage received. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. 40 ki, that is really good. 40 ki is a lot. -5 to special move arts cost, cannot be canceled, activates twice. So I guess you can stack that up to -10 to blue card cost. It's fine. And then reduces damage received by 20% until combo ends when changing cover. So he actually grabs a total of, I guess that's 40% reduced damage received on cover change because he has a 20 here and 20 here. All right, final unique ability is Full Throttle Power. Applies the following effects to self once 40 counts have elapsed from battle start. 30% damage inflicted, 35% to key recovery. Applies that rate upgrade. Shortens sub count by 2. That's good. Permanent buff like that. 15% to critical rate. Interesting. Following effects occur if own remaining health is 50% or below after being hit by an enemy's arts attack activates once. Reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 1, 20% damage inflicted, and then 20% damage inflicted by allies. I guess he's actually supporting as well. I'm looking at his kit, and like he doesn't really seem like he's gonna be that important, but then it's like you remember that he has this, the no switching. So it's very obvious that I think they probably held back a bit just because of the fact that he has that. But it's just like, you know, you take a look at everything else he's doing. Like, how much damage inflicted does he have? I mean, he has card draw speed, 30% damage inflicted, 40% damage, so that's 70. Then if we go down here, it's 100. And then he gets an extra 20 and then 20. So if you have absolutely everything active, he's going to have 140% damage inflicted, which I think is like, okay. Like in this day and age, having that amount of damage inflicted is like not impressive. It's okay. It's nothing crazy. On top of the fact that his offensive stats are not that great, I would have wished that they would have just focused a little bit more on his defensive utility. I mean, he has some decent defensive tools, but 40% reduced damage received. Like, he doesn't have any key reduction here. He's not destroying cards. He's not increasing like cost of the enemy's cards by a lot. Like, he's not doing any of these disruption mechanics that you would want to see on a defensive character, because this guy's not doing damage. This guy's not really defending that well. He'll be okay defensively, but I don't know. His worth is going to come from his lock-in here, and of course his bench, his bench value, right? The Z ability plus ZENKAI ability combo. Unfortunately, we don't really have a viable red fusion warrior character, which would make him a lot better as a bench character, because then you can make use of the ZENKAI ability. But you know, he has a decent Z ability, so he'll be pretty good, I think, moving forward in terms of like an option for the bench for the team. I don't think you're really ever going to bring this guy into the battlefield. Unless there's some broken character that comes in that would synergize really well with no switching. I guess the thing to mention is Gogeta being the Ultra Gogeta being purple does actually work pretty well color wise with this Vegito, but we'll see. We'll test him out and we'll see how he looks. But yeah, in terms of characters, that is it. Just because the free-to-play Broly, it's not in the data right now. So again, I'm assuming he's coming out next week because he should be right here, but he's not. All right, let's check out what equipment we have. So let's go ahead and check the archive here and see what we got. All right, so of course we have this, which is how you grind up Broly. I'm surprised why would they put this in the data but not the free-to-play Broly? Because if Broly doesn't come out until next week, it would be strange to put this in the game, right? I don't know. But yeah, this is equipment you obviously want to use just to increase the amount of Z power you get from farming co-op for Broly, I guess, right? Okay, we have this. What is this? God Key. So this is HP 10%, and then you can either get, oh, this is giving you negative stuff. Strike defense up to 30% or blast defense up to 30%, and then the last slot is attack and blast. Okay, so yeah, I think we've evolved past the point of equipment giving negative stats. So obviously with this meta, the way that this meta has evolved, it's super dominated by strike characters. So I think almost always you're going to want to have this first slot giving you strike defense. Well, I mean, you know the way they should have designed this? They should have designed this where giving strike defense reduces your blast attack, and vice versa. Giving you blast defense reduces your strike attack, because like characters that want strike defense most of the time, I think, just want strike attack, right? Well, I mean, I guess like every character right now wants strike defense because the entire meta is strike based. This is kind of a bad design for this equip. Strike attack and then minus 3. Yeah, this is, I don't like this. This is not it. Not it. We did end up getting a unique equipment which they showed off during the stream yesterday. So this is going to be available via co-op, unfortunately. So it's very similar to how they handled this. Very similar to how they handled this. And then the Merge Zamasu unique equipment as well. Let's check this out. All right, so this is for God Key and purple. Looks pretty basic. So it's giving you 25% to strike defense and blast defense, and then 10% HP, and then 10% special move damage. Doesn't seem that good. I mean, I think it's still going to be used. HP is good with the double defenses. Special move damage is fine. I kind of wish it just gave a little bit of damage. Like, give him like put 10% strike attack on the slot 1, and like 10% blast attack on the slot 2. Maybe that would have been too good. I don't know. I guess 5% strike attack in slot 1, 5% blast attack in slot 2. This would have been a really, really nice. I mean, I still think it's going to be good, but clearly it's more defensively oriented. So on a character like LF Rose, you're probably not going to want to use this. On a character like LF UI Goku, you're probably not going to want to use this. So, you know, more characters that are more offensively oriented. But Gogeta, I guess, could make use of this, depending on if you want to build him more defensively or not. But we'll see. And then we have this. So this is powerful opponent defense type. So I guess that means, does that mean the new Broly is going to be a defense type? Maybe. Health restoration 10%, 10% damage to Saiyans and hybrids, and then HP up to 10%. Hybrid Saiyan damage, huh? So this is an effect that I really am not a huge fan of, because you're never going to really have a character that's in both Saiyans and hybrids to really overlap those two buffs. We do have the Father-Son Gallic on Trunks and Vegeta, who I think right now is actually the only character that has both those tags, right? I think. Hybrid Saiyan and normal Saiyan. So you're actually going to get the extra buff against them with this equip, but I don't think this matters right now. It's all right. Something special. And then I think we do end up having a new Awakened equipment, because the rush should reset this week as well. Yeah, okay, so it looks like it's a Gogeta equipment. Sagas from the movies and Fusion. So we have strike defense, blast defense up to 13%, special move damage up to 13%, and then strike attack up to 35. This is a solid one. This definitely looks pretty good. And you guys already know what I'm gonna say. All you got to do was slap 5% HP onto slot 1, and this would have been an insane equip. I mean, it already is really good. I think you probably want to farm up like 2 of these, but man, just that little bit of extra push would have made this just that much better. But okay, so I think that is it for this week, because I already went over the major Gogeta Blue kit stuff yesterday. Let me know down below what you guys think of this week's update. We have Gogeta Blue, Ultra Gogeta Blue coming out next to the ZENKAI Red Vegito. And it looks like Broly's next week, although they released they put the equipment in the data, but they didn't put the character in the data. So I don't know, maybe we'll see. If they update the data later and Broly ends up being in the game, I will probably make a follow-up to this. But you guys excited? I'm definitely excited for Gogeta. This is definitely a good way to end Legends Festival here. So hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys have good luck with your summons if you decide to summon, which the banner should be going live in about an hour and a half from now. But we will be summoning. We will be happily summoning for Ultra Gogeta Blue. It just feels surreal to say that. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.